Well, today I've got a broken zip and a pair of jeans, and they're good quality jeans, so therefore I do want to renew them. But it's been put in and they've top stitched across the top here, and because that's top stitched across there, in order to get the zip in, I'm going to need to undo that as well. So I have to undo the stitching here, the orange stitching here, the top stitching, in order to get the zip in, otherwise it's going to be top stitched on here. In order to get the zip out, however, I just need to undo all of the sewing along here and run, this is my stitch unpicker, and run this down and up inside to get the zip out. And then that way when I go to the shop, I know I'm going to get the right length of zip. So I'm just going to carry on here and get this zip out. This side, it's got itself caught up under the, it has to be caught up under the waistband, so it's quite a big job. You might not want to tackle it if you're new to sewing, but it does save you quite a bit of money, and obviously revamps a pair of jeans that are otherwise not any good to use. The stitch unpicker is the best thing because you can get in there and get that stitching undone. You can see I've started to pull away. In order to do this job, you definitely will need a sewing machine with a zipper foot attachment. So as you're trying to get this zip out, when you get to the bottom bit, the top's relatively easy. You've got this stitch here that is always put on at the bottom of zips to help keep them in place. You're going to need to get this out, so this is quite a big job because you're going to need your orange or tan colour top stitch at the end, and obviously the colour for your zip inside. So this bit is a bit of a nightmare trying to get it out. You have to just keep on digging away, because then when they make them, it's put in at a different stage. We're trying to get it out sort of like 3 stages back when they were made in the factory. You can see there, I've just got to keep on going at that. Now to put this zip in here, you have got this piece here goes here, and you have to tuck this underneath. It's a very fiddly job, and I'm going to do that second because that's the easiest part to do. The other side of the zip goes in there, tucks up underneath there. Okay, now the cheats way would be to top stitch that down here, and you sew it there. But I know my daughter won't appreciate that if she's got stitching all the way down here. It'll give an odd line and it won't look as effective. So what I'm going to have to do is unpick all this top stitching here and get rid of it in order to be able to pull this away and get the zip inside. So that's the next thing I'm going to get on with. Unpick all of this stitching here so that I can get inside to lay the zip in. Before you insert your zip, check that you've got the right lengths. When you go to the shop, because there's 4 inch, 5 inch, 6 inch, so on for zips for jeans, so make sure you've got the right one, and it's the sturdy one for jeans. You'll notice what I've had to do here is unpick all of the waistband. Because I want the top stitching to look good afterwards, I've had to unpick all of this. We could have done the cheats way, as I say, and just laid it in, but I've unpicked it, and I've unpicked it all the way down to the bottom. So I've got to do all that top stitching afterwards. For now, I've got black thread in, I've got my zipper foot in, and I can now get to that part there. This is very tricky and very, very awkward, because you're trying to get in with all of this material. Get your zip in. Pop your foot down, move your pin before you go. Checking before you start, not after, that it's actually at the top of the zip where the waistband is, so that when you pull the zip up it does end where the waistband ends, and then you can start to sew. I think I shall do an 8, quite a wide one, so that I can get down it. And I'm going to go over and obviously go back a little bit. Okay, we'll go down a little bit, go back to over stitch it and down. You're using your zipper foot as a guide. Mind your pins all the way down. When I get to there, what I like to do is put the needle in the fabric, hold it, and then I can get the zip up. Again, it's very, very fiddly. I think zips have got to be the thing I hate doing most of all. There There we are, pop it back down. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom now. And double back up, make sure it doesn't come undone. And that's that half of the zip in. And you can see there now then, when you open that out, you can unzip it and zip it up. And once we've top stitched that back down, of course, it will hold in place. Now, in order to get the other part of the zip in, I'm going to secure this first of all into place before I put this over and top stitch it. And I have run down there again, so that's had 2 lots of stitches. So it's had the first stitch that I showed you. I've run down it and given it the second lot of stitching. I'm now onto this side of the zip, and I'm just going to secure it in place before I do any top stitching. And that's just straightforward. I don't have to go to the edge on this one, because all I'm doing is getting it secure in order to run down that edge in a moment. So you can tack it if you wanted to, you can pin it, but I'm just going to run down it very, very quickly just to get it into place. And I've already changed to my orange top stitching, so you'll be able to see as it goes through. I'm not being very careful here, it doesn't matter, it's not going to be seen. It's just to get it into place so it's easier. It's such a fiddly job. It's one of the worst jobs ever, I think. Pull that up, then you can get past. And that'll be fine, just to keep it into place. And now we're ready to top stitch. Now what I've done here, that's the bit I've just sewn. I've just popped that inside of there, got it up under the waistband. I'm not securing the waistband at the moment, just got the needle in. I've already gone backwards on my stitching, so I don't need to do that again. I've already done it ready. And now I'm just following that down there. So I've got the orange top stitching because that's what these jeans had. And again, when you get to there, put the needle in. That's the trick, put the needle in so that you've got some move. You can get a hold of the zip head, then pull it up, get past the bit you're sewing so you don't break your needle, put the foot back down and carry on to the end as far as you can. We could undo all of this and keep going, but at the end of the day, we're just inserting a zip to get a little bit more life out of a pair of jeans. Backwards, forwards, over the end so it doesn't come unstitched. And that's one side of our zip now into place. So before I top stitch this last bit here, when they do them in the factory they do this first, but it's going to be too awkward because we've got all of this attached. So I'm actually now going to top stitch that waistband back in. So I've got everything in place, in line in there, lay it on my machine, and then I'm just going to run along with my machine and top stitch that back into place. I've got the largest stitch I can, so it's in keeping with what is already there. Sometimes the thickness of fabric makes this very difficult to do. I'm following the old line along. Can you see where I'm following the old line? Be careful not to catch your buckle, your belt buckle. Okay, that's that bit done. Done one side, and now as you can see I'm doing the waistband of the other side. These little bits we can cut off after, going over what was already there so it doesn't unravel and unstitch as soon as you pop them in the washing machine. And there we are. Now what I've done, I've stitched this down here. Some people have twin needles, but I've just run the stitching down alongside it. I followed the old line that was there. I've now turned all of the jeans around, and I'm coming in from the other end, going through all of the layers, and then that will secure the bottom piece in place and gone over here. And then that will secure the bottom bit so that they don't shift. And that's it. You have your jeans finished. Finally, zigzag stitch here across the bottom of zip, going through all the layers. It is tough on the machines, but it's best to do it. It holds it in place. And zigzag this back in. Everything's nice and secure. Pull your zip up, do your button up, And there you are. You have your zip in place. All done. Saved a fortune.